What's going on, everybody? Today we are looking at the Super7 ThunderCats Ultimates Ghost Grune. This was, of course, a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but it was then made available on the Super7 website, which is where I picked it up, had it shipped all the way up to me in the frozen tundra of Canada. Yeah, it's not so cold. It's summertime. But anyway, Ghost Grune I was very, very excited about. I have, of course, Ghost Jaga. And so, you got to get Ghost Grune to go with Ghost Jaga. Let's take a look at the packaging before we free Ghost Jaga from his plastic prison. So nice big window box as we get with the ThunderCats Ultimates figures, and all the Ultimate figures for that matter. No sleeve, no outer box. It was just a bagged figure in this case. So, another one of the newer figures that doesn't come with the sort of extra accoutrement on the outside of the box. Around the back, we get a big old, render of Grune. Very cartoony. I do like the art that they use on the back of these, but he's also, transparent in the art, so you can kind of see through him. You can see the mountains behind him and through him and the clouds and things like that. So really, really cool, take on the art there as well. And then a bio for Grune as well. Nothing really crazy about the box. I've said it before, the ThunderCats Ultimate box isn't my favorite. It's great, even if you're an out-of-box collector, an in-box collector, a mint in-box collector, you can still see pretty much everything that you're getting in the package. But I gotta get this guy out of the box. So let's free Ghost Grune from his plastic prison and gaze upon his ghostly goodness. All right, so here is Grune out of the box, and he looks pretty awesome. I am a sucker for translucent figures, and this one really does it for me. The deco, the translucence, the translucency, the translucentness. I don't know how translucent this is. Really, really worked for me. So it does seem like there's, some painted bits. I mean, there's definitely painted bits. His eyes are painted, some of the face is painted. Some of the shoulder pauldron there is painted. There's a little bit of paint on his helmet. I'm not sure if there's sort of a gradient to the plastic there. I think there's overlay pieces that are slightly different, opacity, and slightly different colors. Same with the boots as well, but altogether just looking very ghostly, looking very good. Articulation wise, he is what you would expect from a Super7 Ultimates figure. I will say he may be one of the worst ones, just because some of the sculpting. So the foot doesn't really go up because the shin pad is there. It does go back a decent amount. You've got the ankle rocker. But as far as it going forward, it just doesn't really go forward. The other sort of big one is the head. This really nicely sculpted head with all this hair is really, really cool. And it looks fantastic. But as a result, you can't even really turn it. Up and down isn't really happening either. So I don't really have an issue with that. Just sort of pointing it out. I will point out too that out of the box, his joints were all quite tight. But as soon as I move them, a lot of them feel a little bit loose. And I mean, it can still stand and stuff like that, but some of them feel a little looser than I'm used to Super7 Ultimates feeling. So I don't know if that's because it's the translucent plastic or what. But as I said, it's still a fantastic figure and one that I'm really, really happy to have in my collection. I don't even have normal Grune, but I really, really wanted to get Ghost Grune because to me, it's like almost like more iconic. His battle with Jaga. As ghosts is sort of like what I always remember and what I always think of when I think of Grune. So yeah, this version is the version for me. as far as my collection goes. Other than that, I mean, there's not a whole lot going on. I mean, it's a Super 7 Ultimates Ghost Grune. It's a cool figure. If you're into Thundercats, I think it's definitely one that you're going to want to have in your collection. But as far as, posability and stuff like that, it's not the best action figure. This is more one of those, like, if you really love that episode, if you really love that scene, this is a figure that you're going to want to pick up. And I think this is going to be one of those ones that people will sort of kick themselves for not getting. But that's just my opinion. What do I know? Anyways, this guy came with a bunch of accessories. So let's take a look at the accessories. Starting, as I always do with Super 7, with the extra hands, we get the extra open hands. Out of the box, he had the C-grip hands, but we get the more open hands. I'm pretty sure these are the exact same ones that we got with Ghost Jaga. And weirdly, he's got pink fingertips on an orange hand, where Ghost Jaga had like the yellow fingertips on the blue hand. So I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember where the yellow fingers came from. I don't know that I'll ever use those hands. I think he's going to end up, gripping the accessories that he comes with. We also get the disc, that had imprisoned him. I think, is that right? That accidentally got broken and freed him. So that's pretty cool. Just, for a fun extra display thing. That's going to go in a bin. I'm never going to put it on a shelf or anything like that. We get a ghostly, translucent version of the Sword of Omens, which is more of like a clear plastic. We got like a blue plastic to go with Jaga, but there's a clear plastic version. And then we get the translucent mace. I guess this is a mace, right? If it doesn't have a chain, it doesn't move. It's a mace. Is that right? I don't know. Let me know. Feel free to correct me. Anyway, that's the Grune weapon right there. There are his accessories. I'm gonna get this guy a little bit geared up, a little bit posed up. Like I said, his articulation's not fantastic. And give my final thoughts. All right, so here is Ghost Grune, a little bit posed up. He's got the mace in his hand. How do I say this without sounding contradictory? I'm very happy to have Ghost Grune in my collection. I do think that he's a little bit lacking. It's not an amazing figure. Objectively, this is not a great figure. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Subjectively, he's pretty cool. As I said, I'm a sucker for translucent figures, so he checks that box. To have somebody to go against Ghost Jaga is really, really cool, so he checks that box. Accessory-wise, he has all the accessories I think I would really want as far as, incidental stuff like the mace and the disc. I do wish he had fists. Super 7, the joke is always that Super 7 includes like 37 sets of hands with their ultimates. Doesn't seem to be the case in recent times. And I mean, I feel like it would be easy to just throw a pair of fists in here, to go with the C-grip hands and the open hands. But, I'll be honest, they would end up in a bin, and I probably wouldn't use them anyway. I'm probably going to leave the C-grip hands, both left and right on this guy anyway. So it's probably not that big of a deal. What I will say is, I think this figure is probably going to end up being fairly hard to find sooner rather than later. I know that the Super 7 Ultimates Thundercats have sort of started going that route. And I know that Ghost Jaga kind of did that too, where it was, relatively easy to get at first and now virtually impossible to get. So if you haven't gotten one of these yet, I would strongly recommend that you get one because it is a really, really cool figure. He's gonna complete your Ghost Jaga, in my opinion. So yeah, go out and get one of these. It is a very, very cool figure. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you don't want to miss future videos, hit the bell icon to get notifications. Until next time. Bye-bye.